What's up guys, in today's video I'm going to be telling you who the most overlooked operator on defense in the entire game of Rainbow Six Siege is, and that's Lesion. Lesion is probably the most overlooked defender when it comes to ranked in Rainbow Six Siege, and even comp, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I'm going to go over his loadout. He has the T5 SMG or the 612 SD shotgun. So first of all, the shotgun is terrible, one of the worst shotguns in the entire game, if not the worst one, so definitely run the T5. Not only is his shotgun terrible, but his T5 is amazing, so if the bad shotgun wasn't enough to get you started, definitely bring the T5. It has 28 damage, not much with 30 bullets, but 900 fire with little to no recoil. I even run suppressor on this. I don't even have a grip on it, but I would run vertical grip and suppressor. There will be zero recoil at all. And then he has the Q929 pistol, which you run muzzle brake and laser on. If you don't know why I run lasers on my secondaries, I've talked about it in a lot of my videos. If you want me to talk about that, let me know down in the comments and I'll tell you why. Going into it, he has impact grenades or bulletproof camera. You probably want to bring bulletproof camera, especially if your teammates already have impacts or a shotgun. Bulletproof cameras are one of the most underrated gadgets in the entire game. I actually made a video on it, which I'll put in the very end of the video, so make sure you stick to the end for that. With that out of the way, I'm gonna bring you into a custom game and show you what Lesion is all about. So I brought you into a custom game. I brought you onto Favela, actually, and the reason I brought you into Favela is because if you're watching this video, you probably don't know how to play Favela, and if you do, it's probably still pretty confusing to you. Lesion completely mitigates this. Why does Lesion mitigate this? Because he's an information operator, and if you have information where the attackers are, it doesn't matter how little you know the map, you can still pre-fire and win your gunfights with as much information as possible. This helps out especially because we are in a gunfight meta, and the more information you have on the attackers that are pushing you, the better off you are winning your gunfights. So that being said, Lesion can cover a multitude of different arrays of types of gameplay. The primary use to use Lesion for is to swing off of the information. So he has 8 goo mines that he can use to swing off of. If you put these goo mines down like this, right, it's semi-invisible to any attackers. If you get close to it, you can kind of see it though. This staircase is a bad example. There you go. You can see it right there. But, you know, they can shoot these, but they're almost pretty much invisible. And if they aren't, you can actually hear the attackers shoot them. So that's even information without the Lesion mine there. But, you know, you can still see the Lesion mine if you're up close to it and it's not behind any surface. So right now, it's not behind any surface and I'm pretty close to it. As I walk away, I can still see it. But as soon as the staircase is covering it, the icon's gone. That was the nerf I was talking about in the beginning of the video that made people not play him as much, but he's still pretty good. So, like I said, I brought you on Favela because it's a confusing map, and the ways that you can use Lesion is you can put Lesion mines on a bunch of staircases and entryways that are common for attackers to push, so that you know where they're coming from no matter how confusing the map is. So what I would do with your first 3 or 2 Lesion mines that you get in prep phase is I would put them on all the common staircases, right? Because they have to use the staircases to go up and down from floor to floor to be able to push the site. So the first ones I would put were, you know, this one right here, I'd put one on here, I would put one maybe just on this doorway, or you can save 2 and put it at the top and the bottom of this staircase. So now you have information on any staircase that they come to, so if they try to push you horizontally from staircases, you'll know about it. And then you still have 4 to spare, right? So a good example too, they commonly open this wall to walk in, so you can put a goo mine right here. They commonly hop in this window, so you can put a goo mine on the window as well, or they'll hop in through this window. But a lot of times you'll have a shield right here, so they'll try to walk in through here, so you can put a goo mine on the door. They'll put one player through this window, or they'll have an MR come up through this hatch, so putting one on this double door or just on the window right here isn't a bad idea either. But you get the point, right? Like, you use these Lesion mines where you know attackers are probably going to push, where they're going to have to push to get information on where they are. So if I don't know the map at all, and I'm sitting just in sight trying to play super passively, and I hear a goo mine go off on that staircase, I know they're going to be on that staircase. It doesn't know if I know the map or not. Not only is it helpful for new players, but because Lesion is so easy to play, he's extremely easy for new players to pick up. And his gun has no recoil. All you do is throw down a gadget, and you're pretty much secure for the entire round. That is why I definitely recommend you pick up Lesion, especially for new players, especially for console players. It just makes defending a lot easier and a lot safer to play, especially in the gunfight meta that we're in. Now, I talked about this earlier, but not only can you not see Lesion mines if there's a surface extracting it, right? So if I go in here, I can't see the icon of where the Lesion mine is if there's a wall, but I also can't see if I back up super far away. So if I go over here, I no longer see the icon. It's only to where you get about right here that you can see it, or you can't see it through this wall. So that's what I meant when I said once you get to a certain distance, you just can't see the Lesion mine. That's what I mean. So now that I've talked about the basics of how to play Lesion and what to put his mines, I'm going to give you some advanced tips. So first of all, you never want to put Lesion mines on doorways like this. Right, the first reason you don't want to be putting Lesion mines on doorways like this is if some teammate barricades right here or they drone through this doorway, the attackers are going to see this, right? So if they're droning through here, or if they're looking down and they know they have a Lesion, the first place they're going to look is the doorway, because that's the easiest place for you to hit a Lesion mine with, right? Also, like I said, if you barricade this door, it's going to destroy the Lesion mine, so you don't want to be doing that. What you can do, though, is you can put it close on the doorway like this. Because what's going to happen is when people swing in here, they're going to try to take cover and swing the doorway like this, because people will commonly sit on top of this box, or they'll peek the left side of this box right here. So they'll commonly come in and they'll peek like this, and then they'll hit the lesion mine, right? Or if they're not going to do that, you can put it to the right side right here, and they come in and they try to, you know, they pre-fire here, they come in, they take a left, they try to shoot through here, they hit the lesion mine, right? So not only can you be thinking about what rooms and what staircases they're going to be traveling, but also be thinking about where exactly they're going to go once they get inside of the doorway, right? So if I'm an attacker and I'm walking through the doorway and I'm trying to clear this, there's a shield right here, I'm going to walk like this, right? I'm going to walk ADS through these doorways because there's so many places that attackers, or defenders, excuse me, can sit. So instead of putting the lesion mine on the door or putting it on the left and the right, I'm probably just going to put it right about here. The reason it's so good is because when they look for the lesion mine, they're going to look in the doorway, they're going to look around the doorway, but they're not going to look right there. And that's where they're going to walk whenever they come in and they scope and they're checking all the corners. And then once you hear the lesion mine pop off, right, because it's not in the doorway and because it's in the middle of the site, if they want to pull it out, they have to walk all the way here instead of just being able to get stung right here and walk out. Right, so you as a defender can take advantage of that by being on this doorway. Once you hear the lesion mine, you pop out, and they're still having to travel all this distance, instead of you hearing the lesion mine on the doorway, and then just going back out, and you having no time to react. So placing your lesion mines in places where you can actually swing off of them easier, instead of just on doorways where you'd have to peek, is really, really good. Now an example like this, where you put it on the doorway, and you're peeking parallel to where the goo mine is, if they hit it, and they run out the door, you're still going to be able to shoot them. Right? It's only if you're perpendicular to where the door is that becomes an issue, to where they hit it and they just back out, because then you have no reaction time. You have about an inch of space of their head on the doorway from going back into the other room. So that's just something to think about, is where exactly you're placing your mines in tandem with where you think the attackers are going to walk exactly. Also, you can put it on common boxes like this. What attackers will do is they'll run down these staircases, and then once the breach is open, no one's going to be able to play behind these carts safely. So once the breach is open, what they'll do is they'll have teammates run down these stairs, and they'll come up and they'll sit on this box right here to try to kill anybody on this doorway behind the desk or on this doorway. So you can put a lesion mine on top of this right here, because the last place they're going to look for a lesion mine is on that box, right? Especially if they're coming in here and they're just like aiming right here, and they hop up, they hit the lesion mine. And there's a wall right here, so you can kind of pre-fire through it if you don't reinforce this wall, or you can swing them from this doorway, right? You can come in and just like pre-fire them. So, you know, doing stuff like that, not even just where they're walking, but where they're sitting or where they're gonna vault. Another good example too is you can put them on window frames like this. If I don't miss. You've been spotted. You can put it on, you know, window frames like this. So when people are repelled on the windows, it doesn't matter if they're repelling through it, no matter what side of the window they're on. If they're on the window at all and they're repelled, they're going to actually hit the goo mine if it's in the window frame. So that's actually a pretty cool tip as well if you want to know if they're like on the window repelling. Put a goo mine in the window, and then once they hit it, you swing them, because they're not going to be able to sprint down with their shift key because they have a goo mine in them. They're only able to move slowly around the window, so once you hear it, you just swing, and it's easy picks a lot of the times. But that's all I really wanted to talk about with Legion. I just wanted to give you a refresher of how good Legion can be if you play him correctly, and that's pretty much it for the video. Don't forget to sub to the channel down below, like the video if you liked it. My name's Alka, and I will see you in the next one.